Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Spirit to Dowsey. I'm Dowsey LeMay. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Happy Sunday, October 18th. What a crazy week this has been for me, and I don't know if that's been the same for you. Perhaps my last message resonated with you, or if you've seen my October energy update video, maybe a lot of those things have resonated with you, because without a doubt, super chaotic energy, super chaotic events happening all over the place, partly because of new information. And that is really driving us to a place of needing to find discernment through a lot of different illusions that have been playing about in our reality. I know for once this week, lots of anger has been popping up. I don't know if that has been for you, but certainly this Mercury retrograde is just drawing some stuff out of the collective, and I, for one, have not been excluded from that particular energy, and it has really required me, like I mentioned in my October energy update, we're going to need to pull a lot of the tools out to help us remain relatively balanced, relatively emotionally competent and stable and centered as we move along, especially as things become a little bit more intense as we go through the rest of the month. So hopefully you guys are doing okay. And I wanted to talk about this idea around balance, right? And I think there is a misconception around this idea of balance and needing to do stuff to become more balanced, right? So if you in your life are already relatively overwhelmed, right? You've got so much going on, emotionally pulled over, work is calling you, home life is calling you, your relationships are calling for your energy and everything. And then we place in the idea that we need to do something to find balance in our life. I want to flip that around, because where in our reality does adding more to our plate create balance, right? It doesn't necessarily create more balance. In fact, it probably create more intensity of the vibrational patterns of which you're holding on to that's being reflected in your particular environment, right? So the action of doing more in itself needs to be looked at if you are driving the idea that you're going to find balance by doing more, right? It really is in the identity that you need to look at what you've got going on and remove attachments associated with things by lessening the amount of stuff that you may be doing, so that you don't become overwhelmed, and that you can be able to allow balance to come back into your life rather than adding more into that. So hopefully that helps you, especially as we need to build our tools or utilize a lot of our spiritual tools or just mental health tools to get us through the rest of this month. And I expect for the next few months, just knowing that the action of doing something and adding more to your plate is a oxymoron, in a sense, to the idea of finding balance. If you are already overwhelmed, then adding more to it's not going to help you. So just be mindful of that as you go along, and hopefully that message helps you in terms of trying to find the other way around, which is looking at your attachments to you trying to be productive, you trying to be perfect and getting everything done and not relying on anybody, or the idea that you're trying to find your self-worth in action and doing and putting stuff on your plate, and you can find balance and have it all, right? It's that I think that's a misconception, and I just wanted to bring that about as we move along for this week and the rest of the month. So as I always do, I always like to talk about the energies that are going to be coming up for the rest of the week for you guys. And so if any of these things resonate with you, great. If not, perhaps somebody else will benefit from them. So feel free to forward the message on to them. So the identity about this week is that, much like I had talked about in all my other videos around this particular month, we are really striving to try to become this calm, steady type of energy, right? One that's fairly entrepreneurial at the same time, because we're trying to build new things in our life. We are taking advantage of this energy, but in through the turmoil of what the world is bringing about to us, we're seeking to find that centered, calm, steady strength energy within us. And that's going to be really apparent as we move along, because when we look at what is playing out, some of the energies that we are going to be dealing with is going to be around completion, as I've talked about in the past, but not just completion in terms of relationships. Completions in terms of things that you've been dealing with, and finding a new I would say path or new energy of going forward. But I want to say like karmic energy. I feel like there's a lot of karmic completion that's happening as we are moving on through this month and this week in particular. We are going to be dealing with completion of the karmic ties. So energetically, you yourself are going to be completing or dealing with some karmic things that you're going to be tying up, right? That could bring a little sense of clarity for you. That could bring you into a sense of stillness and steadiness within yourself. But also think on the global world stage, right? On the world stage, what is happening is we are karmically clearing things out and tying stuff in. And so through this process of tying up, we are going to have this sense of finding our steadiness, finding our strength, finding this sense of peace in forward vision without this idea of someone being easily budged around, right? We're going to be able to get that through the karmic ties of what's happening within us, but also the inverse of that within, on the external side, the global stage of humanity is also tying up some stuff as well. What is partly adding to this, and that's probably going to be fighting against you, or not adding to this, but going against you on some of these levels, is that trying to bump you off your steady strength type of persona as you go along, is the idea that you're going to be dealing with a lot more family kind of stuff this week, and family stuff could get you really off tilted, and it's going to really require you to kind of utilize your intuition, seeing beyond the obvious kind of stuff, for you to be able to find that, I would say, centered calmness within the storm within yourself this week, right? A lot of family kind of stuff. It's easy to get tied into the family stuff, especially if you're a healer. If you're a healer, you are always feeling like you're getting pulled off to try to help people. But in that sense, you could end up losing yourself. So a lot of what you're going to be dealing with this week is you got to be mindful of what you're giving your energy to, and seeing beyond the obvious. Like I mentioned in my other video on the October energy, you got to see beyond the illusions, and that's going to be utilizing kind of this inner knowing, this intuition, your third eye, this centered balance aspect to you, to be able to kind of step back and not have to engage within these events that don't necessarily need your energy, so that you can kind of remain in this strong, steady, calm fashion as we move along, as karmic things start to tie up. So it is going to be imperative that we keep our devotion to our path. We keep our devotion to our truth, to remain still within that, to know what we know as truth within us, but keep an open mind, but to not be ping-ponged all over the place emotionally because you yourself are triggered by unconscious patterns. It's really going to be about keeping strong through the storm, keeping your light, really working at keeping your centeredness as you go along. And part of what will help you is that some of you guys may be playing this idea of the victim, continually to play the victimhood type of mentality. All my videos always talk about you are the creator. You are the creator, and you are the one creating your reality. It's time for you to switch that mentality. It's time for you to look at it and become the powerful creator, so that you can place that intention, that vision into your reality about what you want, right? You're no longer the hunted. You're no longer the prey that's being victimized by the world, right? You need to become the hunter. You need to become the creator. You need to become the predator, in a sense of the one taking the action, the one going out and seeking what they want. And that is utilizing some of that energy that we have got going for us as things karmically tie up, and we can be that strength and that light and that steadiness that we are looking for. But that comes with you stepping into the creator and intentionally putting into your reality the things that you are desiring through your energy, through your vibration, through your thinking, your actions, and your beliefs. It's an inward journey. If you haven't done that, that's going to be pretty difficult as we move along. So becoming more, I would say, aware of what you are and how you are putting that vibration out in your reality is going to really help you this week. So some of the energetic centers you may be working with this week in particular is going to be around the throat chakra and the third eye. Think about your throat chakra, you're talking about truth, right? I talk about illusions this entire month. Your throat chakra is about truth, it's about speaking out, it's about communication. A lot of social media, a lot of opinions being thrown out left and right, and we are really trying to hear the truth as well as speak our truth and get that communicated out, and as that vibrates and gets radioed out, if you will, radioed out as a wave of energy to other people who will resonate with it, will allow that new earth, that type of strength, that identity of higher vibration, dimensional planes to come into existence within your reality, right? The other part is utilizing the third eye, right? We need to use our intuition. We need to use the all-seeing eye, right? Those who have the eyes to see, those who have the ears to hear, can see past a lot of these illusions. It's going to be really imperative that you understand that your third eye may be activated this week to help you see through some of the BS, to see through some of the things that has been an illusionary agendas that have been playing out, and for us to seek that truth, to really understand that. And your third eye is going to be part of that as we go along, to see beyond the obvious, to go beyond, to see beyond the thing that's in plain sight, because there's something else behind that is really playing out that we need to be able to understand so that we can find the truth of what is being projected out to us. Okay? So I hope that helps you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Hope the rest of the week goes well for you guys. I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.